This is my first episode. I shouldn't care so much. I shouldn't. I'm like, now I'm just conscious of how I'm like sounding in the mic. I hate this already. I hate this. Okay, I don't hate it. I love it. Okay. Hey, my name is Julian. Jul. Why do I have to spell it? Dear God. Well, this is a lot harder than it seems. This seemed a lot easier with somebody. Now I'm looking at my phone for clarification, but there's nothing. It's just telling me the time, and it's late as hell. I just don't know how to start. Like, I know I have a list right here of like what I want to talk about. Sorry about the auto adjust camera. But I just like, how do I just jump into it? Like, okay. First thing on here is why you're starting this podcast. And a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is because of two podcasts in particular that really inspired me. One podcast is the H3 podcast, and if you don't know who they are, they're YouTubers. Ethan Klein, Ela Klein, and then there's the gang, there's Dan, there's Zach, there's Ian, the salaried intern, or the salaried employee. And the other podcast is Your Mom's House with comedians Tom Segura and Christina Pazicki. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. I know, surprising. I didn't list Joe Rogan, but I didn't. There's like this weird stigma around. I created like this weird stigma around Rogan when I was trying to look for podcasts to listen to, kind of like, oh, he's the popular one, like he's the big podcaster. So I tried to avoid his podcast at all times because I was like, it's gonna be so, and like when somebody asks me what I'm listening to, I don't want to say like Joe Rogan. God, it sounds like so pretentious, but it was how I felt. And yeah, so those other two podcasts that I just listed are like an insane influence on why I started this. This sounds so stupid. It's gonna sound so cliche, but like they were there for me. I like, when you're feeling down, and I keep looking at myself. I should probably just close this. Is there a way I could cover my face? Is it still recording if I minimize? Oh, it is. It's still recording if I minimize. I don't trust it. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to trust myself not to look. I have an idea. This is like so fucked. I'm so sorry. What was I talking about? Oh, I'm like so nervous. All I'm thinking about is like the people that are going to listen to this. People that I know, and they've probably already turned it off. Like I've butchered the first 4 minutes of this, and it seems so much easier planned out in my head, Okay. Well, I started because of those two podcasters. Oh my God, I'm just so scared. I'm just thinking too much about this, like of how people are gonna perceive me, because like I want to be as authentic as I can. While talking on here, like I don't want to hold back. I keep catching myself raising my shoulders and I keep lowering them, and I want to be myself, because the last thing I want is to put myself out there on the internet and it's just like not who I am, and then somebody comes across it that I know, and then they're like, dude, why did you say this? And I'm like, oh, and then it becomes awkward. It's just so unnecessary to be fake online. But yeah, and if you know me in real life and you somehow stumbled across this because I posted this on my story, on my Instagram story, I'm sorry if what I say in future podcasts upsets you, because I can almost guarantee that I'm going to say some crazy shit, and it may not make you happy. I don't know. I just that's the reality, I guess. But hey, like, what can you do? Start your own podcast, I guess. I mean, fuck. But yeah. Did I just go on a tangent from why I started this podcast? Did I just go on my first podcast tangent? Oh my goodness. Mark this moment in history. I just did a British accent out of nowhere. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to talk about this one subject too while I'm on the topic of, oh my gosh, I just keep catching myself. Okay, I'm gonna be like Joe Rogan. I'm just gonna be like this. So I wanted to this is how he sits. He sits like this, and then I listen to Joe Rogan now, even though I didn't listen to him before. He is pretty. He's entertaining. Like, what can I say? The guy knows how to talk. I wanted to bring this up because it's been on my mind ever since it happened, and I knew I wanted to discuss it on the podcast. Have I been too close this entire time? But yeah. So I've been wanting to discuss this for the longest time. You may have heard, this is like so late. This is like I'm bringing this out of left field. But you may have heard of a certain comedian named Chris D'Elia and his accusations. And why I bring this up is one, he was a huge influence, on me. And two, I kind of wanted to just discuss it out loud so I can like put in order my thoughts of this whole thing, and maybe some of you will agree with me, I guess. And maybe some of you may get upset about what I'm about to say. But we'll see. But Chris D'Elia is a comedian who has like 3 or 4 specials on Netflix. I don't know if they took them down or yet, or if they're still up. But he is still a funny guy. I mean, just because you did some best. Okay, let me rearrange this. Chris D'Elia is a comedian. He has his own podcast. Congratulations. Probably not anymore. I don't know who's gonna sponsor him anymore. But he got accused of some things. Essentially like pedo behavior, pretty much, like very creepy behavior. And one of the things that came up was like there was like accusations that he had, like sexual sexual relationships with underage women, and it later came out for those accusations to be false. But, and I say but because he still did have, I don't know if they were sexual, I think they were, but like definitely romantic. Like he had romantic intentions with young women, like 18, like fresh 18. And I think this one girl from this one university, I'm sorry, her name like escapes my mind at the moment, but she came forward with like very detail oriented, very specific story about her and Chris D'Elia. And I listened to it on another podcast. Somebody like explained it, but like I blocked it out of my memory because I was so like heartbroken at the time. I know. I don't even know the guy, and I'm heartbroken. But like I want to talk about this for this reason, and then I'll explain later. But he didn't deny it. I think he admitted to it, but he said he was sorry. about it, like if it made her uncomfortable. Um, and to frame it, and to frame and to make and to make to be more clear, the girl was 18 or 19, and he was 37, I believe. I believe he was like 35. How old is he now? Isn't he like 40? I think he was 32. I think he was 32. I think he was 32. Anyways, he was like 32. She was 18 or 19. Definitely not 20. I'm pretty sure she was young. Uh and some stuff went down like in a hotel, I think. And it's not good for him. It's not looking good. And he hasn't posted on any of his social media. He just hasn't been active. And I want to bring this up because I wrote down here on this little sheet of paper why you're starting this podcast. So I could tell you guys why and who inspired you. And many comedians have inspired me at this point to start this podcast. I mostly listen to like comedic podcasts. I don't really listen to anything else. And Chris D'Elia's Congratulations podcast was a big one. A huge one, in fact. And I actually discovered him after I discovered H3, after I discovered Your Mom's House. And I think I discovered him through Bobby Lee's Tiger Belly. I always knew he existed. I knew he was funny, but I just like never really, it never came to me to check him out. And then one day I did, and I fell in love with his comedy and like his sense of humor, and the way he didn't give give a fuck. It feels so weird cursing because I know my family's gonna listen to this. But like, and I just wanted to say that I'm sad. Like the guy doesn't know I exist. But it's like I listen to like all his episodes and it feels so weird. Like knowing that he did this, and I'm getting so unnecessarily emotional. I'm sorry. And there, it's upsetting because I looked up to him like a lot, and he did, and this comes out, and what makes me sad is like he's probably never gonna recover from this. Like, let's say he learned his lesson, like I'm sure he already has. I'm almost 100% sure he's never gonna get another gig booked again. But like, there's this one memory that comes to mind that I also wanted to talk about. It was a podcast on Whitney Cummings' podcast. Her podcast is called Good For You. It's amazing. And in this episode, I was very low in my life in terms of mental health. And things weren't looking good for me. Sorry, I'm gonna drink. Dear God. Oh, that tastes so good. Like, that tastes so good. Anyways, I was literally in this room. Just sad. And at this point, I believe I was suffering from depression, and my anxiety was definitely up there. All I know is that I have some type of anxiety disorder. I forget, but my anxiety was high. It was high. And I was listening to this podcast after Kobe had died, because I know Kobe had recently died. from the helicopter crash. In case you didn't know, like for some weird reason, but um, and he was talking about, like what inspired him and like Whitney Cummings to like become a comedian, and like how they started, and basically I forget the clip. I have it saved on like my favorites on YouTube because it still makes me like tear up to this day. Um, but he says something along the lines of, I'm definitely butchering this because it's probably doesn't say anything like this at all. But I do know it's inspiring. That's all I know. But he said something along the lines of, like, life is not guaranteed, and oh no, he said this. He said some inspiring shit on the Whitney Cummings podcast, but also on his congratulations podcast. It was the congratulations podcast. I know he said what I'm about to say. He said, if you want to do something, then fucking do it. Don't go. Oh, I really wanna fix this car up, man. Like, I can't, like, dude, if I got these rims on this car, if I got this part, if I audition for this part, oh, dude, that'd be sick, right? Then I could like take my acting career for, oh, if I started this track with this guy, if I asked him to collab, then that would like further my career, and I can like connect. Hey, shut the fuck up. Do it. Like do it. And like that's why I'm here. Like that's why I'm here doing this, because I like lived like the past 2 years of my life just talking, just wishing, just I was just waking up, sleeping, doing nothing. And I was tired of it. I was sick of it. And I have this friend. I don't know if he wants me to say his name or if he even gives a fuck. I'm still stuttering my curse words because all I'm thinking about is my family just listening to this. But I have this friend who's supposed to be here. Here's another mic that's not being used right now. This podcast is originally supposed to be 2 people, but it's not, as you can see, or as you can hear. And where was I going? Oh, and anyways, I was supposed to start this podcast with this guy like so long ago. Hey, we should start this podcast. Okay. Now you have an idea. Work towards it. So we kind of did. We kind of like did a mock podcast, like the following 2 weeks. Like we rented a camera from our university, recorded it with this camera, realized it was shit because the memory footage didn't allow for more than 20 minutes of recording, and on top of that the audio was terrible. So we kind of gave up on that. We're like, okay, we need our own equipment. And then after that, the next year and 11 months was just us like shitting around, doing absolutely nothing. But mostly me, because I knew in my heart that I wanted to do this. But I couldn't really muster anything to do it. I've had a job for, I don't even know how long I've had this job, but I've had this job for a while, and I definitely could have saved up for, I definitely could have saved up to for this equipment that I have right now. But I never really did. It was just all talk. And to circle it back around, Crystalia said this one thing, like, you can do it. Like, I wonder how many times I'm saying like in this podcast, or anyways, he said, you can do it. It's unbelievable. This is not me talking. It's unbelievable how capable you are of something if it's in, within attainable means. Like, obviously I'm in a very lucky position for my family to support me, though that took some climbing. I'm very lucky to be able to not have to worry about, food that much, how I'm going to pay for rent, because I live with my parents. I just said parents like parents. Wow. What was I saying? Oh, and anyways, and I was just fortunate enough to focus, on this podcast that I wanted to start. And to circle it back around to Crystalia, it just makes me really want to cry. And it makes me upset that this happened. And it feels like it happened to me in a way, because now I can't look forward to his podcast every month. I don't even know when he post. I forgot. Like, was it every Wednesday or Tuesday? I don't even remember. But anyways, if by somehow in God's green earth he finds this, which he probably won't ever will, but if somehow, hey, you know Crystalia, right? Somehow, after everything he's been through, and I still have his number and still don't have him blocked, show this next part to him. Because, like, I don't know, like, I've had this, like, image in my head of, like, how I was going to say this, and, like, what would I even say, and, like, I'm going to say this to Crystalia, because I feel like I'm not perfect. I've done some very bad things that I'm not proud of, and it's very possible that it could come out in the future. And if it came, and it's not like I killed somebody or something like that, but what I did, it's settled now, and the people involved, like, we're all at agreement, I guess, about what happened, and we're trying to forget about it. But, for some reason, if the people involved will want to bring it up and cancel me, they could easily, and I would say I probably deserve it. And the reason why I say probably is because I feel like I've grown, at least as a human, since those acts, or since that time period. And I want to say this to Chris, if he somehow, or to anybody that's had major fuck ups in their life, or to anyone that feels like they can't recover from such, like, a horrendous act, like something so bad that you feel like no matter how many days go on, you will never forget what you did, or no matter how many days go on, you will never know peace again. And to Chris, and to other people that have done terrible things and just want to fucking forget about it, or they want to move on, I want you guys to know that it does get better. That sounds so cliche and dumb, but it does. It really does. I thought my life was over like 3 years ago. I thought I'm the shittiest human being on earth, and I deserve everything that happens to me from now on. I deserve nothing, and everything bad is deserved, and I deserve nothing good. I should be in hell. Like it was bad, but one day, I discovered, thanks to this one person, that you can become a better person, that you can learn from your mistakes and grow. Like, you don't have to be stuck in this pit of like self-pity and like just wallow in it forever. It's pointless. It's like pointless. You're just going to beat yourself up. And as scary as it is to get back out there and to get back to talking to people and to get back, like even now I still suffer from the trauma of what I did. And all I can think about is I'll never know love. Like, that's like a thought that still lingers in my head. But I do know now that I'm not who I was 3 years ago. I'm not who I was yesterday. I'm starting this podcast today. I didn't have a podcast yesterday. I got one now. I didn't have this fancy light thingy right there yesterday, but I have one now. I did buy it last minute. Okay. But you get my point. You don't have to, you just fucking move on. Yes, you fucked up. Yeah, it was bad as hell. Like, awful and almost irreprehensible. Irreprehensible. It was bad. Is what I'm trying to say. And I just hope that, this is what pisses me off the most, is like the accusations. The accusations can't accusations. How do you say the word? How do you say this word? I'm gonna write it right now. ACCUSATIONS. That's how you say spell accusations, right? Accusation. Anyways, the accusations came out against Chris D'Elia with almost no proof besides tweets, and all his friends, right? His comedic friends, literally fucking. Here's the bus, right? Here's the bus. Here's Chris, and pretend I'm his friends. Meow. He's under it. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get what I did? God, I'm probably so annoying. They threw him under the bus. Like everything was fact. And I kind of jumped on it because I was like, am I a shitty human if... Sorry, I have to burp. Sorry. I just thought, am I a shitty human if I'm so quick to be like, oh, hold up. Why don't we wait just a little bit for him to defend himself? Or for a little bit more clues. It's like a fucking mystery. It's not... like a little bit more evidence, I guess you could say. A little bit... just more context. So we're not taking a shot in the dark. But no, all my favorite comedian podcasts that I listen to immediately were so quick to be like, I hope he gets help. They're so ashamed. And like, they wouldn't even say his name. Like, he was fucking Voldemort. Oops, I'm gonna die. I just said it. But that irked me so bad because I am a fanboy. Of course I'm gonna be upset, and of course I'm gonna be want my good old pal Crystalia, to be innocent. But then I thought, like, let's say, and the thing is like those accusations or whatever were from like years ago, longer than what I did. And he had like 8 years to grow. I think he's like 40, 41. He's really young. And sorry, there's a little inside joke from his podcast. Yes, I still say inside jokes from his podcast because I'm super sad that this happened to him. Anyways, they just and it made me wonder, like, were they, like, why? Like, why would they be so quick to throw this man under the bus? Part of it's obviously for public images, right? Like, they don't want to stay silent. And then, of course, amidst everything going on right now, staying silent for this accusation would probably not look the best on them, which makes sense. But the least they could do, I guess, would be like, is be like, hey, these are what he's being accused of is fucked up, and the evidence was stacking against him, and then they could be like, if this is true, fuck him, like, I don't know this guy, but if it's not true and more evidence or more people or somehow like it comes to light that like it's not true, then he's still the same guy that we were laughing with like a week ago. But no, like, that did not happen. And I get it. Like what would you do if your friend or somebody you look up to, or like Michael Jackson? I'm pretty sure he stuck his he stuck his this little penis inside a boy, and but people still listen to his music. His music still gets played on the radio. I think, right? I don't know. I think I've heard his song on the radio. And then it becomes a question of, do you separate the art from the artist? And then I don't even know what I think about that argument, because it's been so long since like an artist I loved has been accused of something so horrendous. I don't know. I guess is what I'm trying to say at this point is I have mixed emotions on this, because I looked up to him, this Crystalia guy. And I still kind of have those, emotions of aspiration for him, because he's funny, and it fucking sucks, but the girls, and I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to like belittle these victims and their stories and them coming out, and it's good that they're coming out. More should come out, but I'm just giving like my perspective as a fan that got too invested in this dude and put too much faith in him. And there's nothing wrong with like looking up to somebody and like putting faith in them as like a person, because like you see them as this like almost omnipotent person that, oh, they could do no wrong. They're getting Netflix specials. Has his own podcast. he's funny as hell. He makes you laugh. He makes you smile. But they're human, you know. And us humans are pretty fucking stupid, pretty dumb. I mean, I'm dumb. I don't know. It's so weird. But to go back to what I was trying to say is I'm not trying to belittle, like, you know, these people that are coming out with these accusations. I'm not trying to say, you know, like, don't believe them. You know, don't believe them. You were raped? Nah. We should wait. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, even though that is like literally what I said. I'm trying to frame this in a way. I just want to clarify again, God, that to not be quick to believe an accusation, but to also not undermine the accusation. Does that make sense? You don't want to jump on the train of, oh, this is 100% true, and I don't care about anything else. This is 100% true. But also, if it's somebody, you know, that you look up to, or that, you know, you listen to, or you watch, or it's art, like photography, whatever it is, to also not be quick to dismiss it. Because when the accusations came out, I wasn't like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of quick to dismiss it. I was like, what? That was so, God, this podcast is so fucked. Hold on. My coffee is cold, and now I'm sad. But when the accusations came out, I was like, what? I was like, this funny guy is capable of being creepy, what? I was like, what? And I didn't want to believe it. I really didn't. But at the same time, I looked into it, and what I found was, you know, a lot of the Twitter accusations were false, but he did have some creepy interactions with legal age girls, but nonetheless were like either like freshly 18 or 19, like 2 or 3, I don't even know, like all those years ago. But yeah, weird. But when I found that out, I was like, fuck. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then I just kind of sat there like this. For like a week, I was just... And then for another week, I was just... I didn't want to believe it, is what I'm trying to say. And... I'm having trouble keeping my train of thought going here. Why am I even talking about this again? Oh, because who inspired me to start a podcast? Oh. But yeah, I was also clarifying, you know, don't be quick to believe, but also don't undermine, because if they are true, you're just adding on to that trauma, and you're just you're letting, you know, the person, like the predator or whatever, you know, what would you say in this case? What's the opposite of a victim? I don't want to say predator. I know there's like another word. You're also enabling this person who has done these terrible things to get away with it. And not only are you letting them kind of get away with it, but you're also making them feel good about getting away with it. Like what? Like these people don't believe this girl? what? Or they don't believe this guy. And then it just creates this cycle um, of guys to get away with shit like this. And, I mean, girls too, but, like, that's more rare. Mostly guys, because guys are fucking disgusting most of the time. I'm just sitting here still just in disbelief. Because, like, I knew I was going to talk about this. But, like, I just didn't know how much. And I have taken up a huge portion of the podcast just talking about this. And I'm sorry. I'm looking at myself. Also, shout out to my friends at Blink Conversations Theater Company. Hopefully they can reopen soon, because this quarantine sucks. But I guess all in all, I don't even know how to, like, sum up this topic. I guess to say again, don't undermine the victims' accusations, but also, for any accusation, even if it's not rape, like I don't know, like, just, I don't even know what else other accusation, but anyways, don't undermine the victim, and don't be quick to believe. Just, you gotta be patient, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I guess here on the next thing on this list, it says plans for this podcast. I'm so sorry if my voice sounds so monotone. I'm just so self-conscious of my parents that are, like, not in the next room, but down the hallway. I'm just so scared they're going to listen. I know they're not next to my door with their ears on the door, but that's all I can think about. And that they're going to listen to this, probably. It's kind of scary. Yeah. I'm so out of it right now, because, like, just thinking about it. Just thinking about my family, like, watching this, like, what? Like, imagine, like, putting yourself out there. Like, your nutsack. Like, this is now your nutsack. And if you're a girl, I don't care. This is now your nutsack. Imagine just balls bare. Hey, family, here's me, authentic as possible. I don't know why I'm using this metaphor analogy. I don't know the difference, kind of. And just, like, as authentic and as raw as possible. That are also kind of religious. And you just kind of have to wait for their response. It's kind of scary. I don't know, for me it is. I just hope they don't hate me, I guess. Anyways, plans for this podcast. I definitely want a control board for sound, like, or I want a soundbite. You know what'd be cool? A soundbite of, I'm gonna put this as a note. Soundbites, plural, of all my favorite podcasts. So, like, I'll just clip, like, a podcast that I listen to, and I'll make a soundbite of, like, whatever tiny thing it is. So, like, I listen to a lot, by the way. I listen to, like, a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Ooh. Sorry. I had to readjust my shirt. It's hard to breathe. I listen to H3H3. I listen to Your Mom's House. I listen to Where My Mom's At. I listen to Honeydew. I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Tiger Belly. I listen to Bad Friends. I listen to The Tim Dillon Show. I listen to Brilliant Idiots with Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne the God. I think that's who it is. And I also listen to, what is it? Like the Fragrant 2? Fragrant too. Anyways, it's also with Andrew Schultz and an Indian guy. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry, man. I haven't listened to the podcast enough. I'm so sorry. But I know you're Indian. Is that racist to say? I mean, he is Indian. It's like a fact. I don't know. This is coming out so bad. God, I feel bad now because I can't remember his name. Fuck. But I barely started listening to it like a week ago. And I guess in all fairness, who else do I listen to? I mentioned all the big ones. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I listened to Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. I occasionally listen to Isla Kreischer's podcast. It's not Isla. What the fuck? What's her name? It's Bert Kreischer's wife. What the fuck's her name? Oh God, I'm forgetting. Anyways, I listen to her podcast as well. Who else do I listen to? Oh, I also listen to the Misfits podcast as well. I know there's like a little, like two or more maybe. Bad Friends. Yes. Like if I could just put like the perfect podcast, like a mixture of funny and it can be serious and just like perfectly paced between two people and oh, it's so beautifully made. Like it's so I can't speak. It's so effortlessly funny and before you know it, you've listened to the fucking whole thing. Like Bad Friends with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Those two guys, literally perfect duo. Like perfect. Good thing Bobby Lee didn't start a podcast with, Chris D'Elia, because that would have ended. But yeah, Bad Friends. Ooh, what a podcast. I'm so glad they started it. I remember when I listened to the first episode, whenever like they were taking phone calls and I remember thinking, am I really gonna listen to this? Like, is this gonna be funny? Like it's kind of like I'm testing out food. Like I was gonna try to be funny, but I just gave up because I don't think it was gonna be funny. Anyways, I'm like struggling with words here. I'm so sorry. If you've turned off by now, I understand. And if you're still listening, you're probably a friend of mine. And in that case, also, why the fuck haven't you turned this off? Like already? Like how are you not bored? But if you are listening, by God's grace, thank you. I don't know what I just did. I tried to do like a Catholic thing. Anyways, thank you for still listening. I still have a good 10 minutes to go, and I don't know how I'm going to film this. Oh, I do. Okay. Ultimate dream I wrote down on here. I never even talked about the plans for the podcast. Oh yeah, I want a soundboard. I also want a better camera. I also want like a control center type thing. Isn't that the same thing as a control board? Yeah. For like, because I want to play an intro song. I may have already played the intro song to the podcast. I'm just gonna have to edit in after because I can't figure out how to put it in the middle. It's a little bit rubbish, difficult, as I would say. But I'm trying my best. That's my attempt at a British accent again. But yeah, I just want to grow this podcast. Like that's the ultimate goal. I'm sorry if this podcast came out like really fucking if it came out boring. As this is going to be like a learning experience. I'm also recording this at 10 o'clock at night, and I have work tomorrow in the morning at 8, and I'm kind of tired, but back to Chris D'Elia, what he said, even though, what he said is still rings true, regardless of what he did 8 years ago, is if you like, if it's feasibly attainable, but you're just being a lazy son of a bitch, fucking do it. Like, it's so Shia LaBeouf of me to just be like, just do it. But it's the fucking truth. Like, it's the truth. Like, stop fucking moping around and just do it. Like, for the love of God. My friend Gus Sanchez, I love him. He started his own theater company. This fucking hat, it's amazing. Like, God, like, do it. Like, you have a passion, you have a dream. Fuck what everybody else says. My parents, they don't like me gaming. They don't like me streaming. They don't really understand it that much, but they still love me. You know, bless their hearts. And they kind of didn't understand this podcast thing, but they still support me. And if they didn't, I still would be doing this. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I still would have gotten all this. Like, I had it in my head that nobody was going to stop me from doing this. I had it in my head that even if my friends were like, oh, you're starting a podcast? Like, how many? Shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Yeah. How about that? Like, I don't give a fuck because I want to do this and I love this. And like what I'm doing right now, and as monotone as I've been, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still kind of tired, but I just wanted to do this and get it out of the way. It's part of the point I'm making here. Is I just wanted to do it, and so I didn't want to sleep thinking about how I went another day without recording this podcast, and I just wanted to do it. And I'm glad I did. I'm here and I'm doing it. I'm 52 minutes in, and it's probably one of the most relieving 52 minutes of my life. Like, I've been wanting to do this for well, actually I know, like almost 2 years. Like, I never thought about podcasting at all until like about 50-ish episodes into the A3 podcast. I didn't know I wanted to do this. Like, it became an idea-ish. It wasn't even an idea. It was a fun thought. Is that an idea? A fun thought? It was a premise is still an idea. What's below an idea? Of fun? I don't know. Anyways. But yeah. Like, fuck, man. You want that car? Go fucking work. Yeah? Go work for it. And if you want it badly, you will find a way. You want that job? Fucking go to school, work your fucking ass off. Go get that job. Go do what you want to do. You want to become a graphic designer? Go fucking download some shit program for free. Learn the basics. Then save up for Photoshop, even though Photoshop's fucking ass because they make you pay monthly when you can just get probably a better one for less money and permanently. That's another topic, a gripe I have with Adobe. I think is what they're called. Their company. Is it Adobe? Adobe Photoshop. Anyways. You want that girl. You want that guy. Hey, guess what? They're alive, right? Do they have a pulse? Hey, go get them, yeah? Stop fucking. Hey, I wanna talk to them, but I don't know if they're gonna say yes. Shut the fuck up and go do it. Yeah. This has now become ASMR. Go fucking do it. Stop fucking moping around. You dumbass bitch. I'll beat the shit out of you if you don't follow your fucking dreams. Yeah. I'm so tired of my friends and people I know being so wishful and being like, I wish. Hey, dumbass, you can do it. Yeah? How about you act? Yeah. Oh god, this is gonna be fun. This is actually gonna be fun. Oh god. I like this. I really do. I like this. Now I'm going to hold back the tears that are coming to my eyes because it's all coming together of what I've dreamt of doing, even though I'm going to have 0 listeners, most likely, during this first episode. But I don't give a fuck because I've been wanting to do this. And it takes 100 to get 5 consistent listeners. Hey, that's 5 more than I had now. It is what it is. And I'm also going to stream soon. So keep an eye out for that. I know it sounds like I'm ending the podcast, but I don't know how long these should really be. I think... Okay, I'm going to end it on this note. I'm going to end it here on this note. I may edit this first episode because there's a lot of dead moments and I don't want you to be really bored. But then again, I need to be as raw as possible. So you know what? If you made it this far, you obviously know that I didn't edit anything. Because I think it'll be good to see the growth over the next coming months and years of this podcast. Yeah, so this will definitely be unedited, but I will put a warning. I don't have to put a warning. It's episode 1. But yeah, I think this is a good hour. I'm 57 minutes in. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, I'm going to finish on this. And then I'll be done. My ultimate dream is to be... This is so stupid. I'm just putting this out there because if one day, Nadav finds this, if Dan finds this, if Zach if Ian, if I'm forgetting his name. What's his name? Oh God, what's his name? He works at your mom's house. If any finds this, it's my dream. One of my dreams, not my ultimate dream, but it's one of my big, one of those things where I think about. I want to be on the H3 podcast, and I also want to be on your mom's house podcast. Those are unbelievable. I would cry of happy if I got on their podcast. I think I would not be able to stop the tears from fucking flowing. They would have to get towels and just clip them to my cheeks because I'd be fucking crying the entire time from just sitting there with them. Of course, COVID going on right now, I can't really do that. But, I mean, if H3, anyways. Hopefully, this thing lifts. I'm talking like they're going to invite me next week. Nope. But, definitely, not in the near future, but in the future. That's one of my big dreams. And it sounds super insane saying that, but I remember Whitney Cummings talking about how she had a vision board of what she wanted to accomplish as a comedian and where she wanted to be in the future. And she fucking not only accomplished those things, but she did that and more, It's it seems crazy in the moment, but when you put in the fucking work, and I sound like one of those grind Instagram, fucking Instagram accounts, but when you put in the work, you'd be surprised, I guess, is what I'm trying. You'd be surprised at what you're capable of, and that's what I want to do. And the reason why I'm saying this now in episode 1 is because if somehow I get that accomplished, I want to look back on this and just be proud of myself. And if it doesn't, then I guess, hey, it is what it is. But if it does happen, because I know I'm willing to, work for it, I can look back on this and just be proud of myself for setting such a high goal that seems so unattainable, so almost impossible, and to achieve it I can just look at myself and be like, oh, I did it. Like, I actually did it. And like how I'm looking at myself now. Like, I thought, nobody's going to want to listen to this. How am I even going to get this equipment? But here I am. I did it. And it's just one step at a time, you know? I didn't get all this shit I have here, you can't see, at once. I worked for it over time. So I guess I'm going to end on this. I keep hearing like a weird like clipping. Oh, it's my chair. Okay. I'm gonna end on this. I keep saying Take a shot every time I say yeah. I almost said it again. I almost said it again. God, I can't wait to do another episode soon where I'm more enthusiastic. I'm so sorry. I'm like kind of dead right now. But it kind of goes back to the point. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is my hair. Okay. Just fucking finish the podcast, Julian. Just finish it. Okay. I'm going to end it on this. Do what you can now to help you get one step closer to what you want to attain in the future. Like, let's say you don't have that good of a paying job. I know I'm going to kind of go off on it here a little bit, but it's just so I can get the point across. Let's say you don't have that good of a paying job, but you want this laptop. But you can't afford to work 2 jobs. Because, like, let's say you're in, unfortunate circumstances where you have to take care of somebody or you have to be somewhere for certain times. Work that job, save up, allow yourself, to have minor treats, and remind yourself that what you're doing is worth it and it'll pay off. I don't even know if this is making any sense, because like I'm some fucking privileged ass fucking bitch in this house that's lucky to have parents. Like, all this shit I have here, my parents didn't pay for. I paid for it, but well, I guess what I'm trying to say is you this sounds so repetitive. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it on here. How should I end the podcast? How should I end podcast? You get what I'm trying to say. You can do what you can do. Is what I'm trying to, and if you can do it, fucking do it. Don't be a bitch and don't complain about it. Work for it. Work for it. Work for it. How am I gonna end this? How should I end podcast? How should I end podcast? Ooh, I'm gonna end the podcast on. How about? I like this. I'm gonna end podcasts. I don't know if any podcast does this, but if they do, fuck them. Because guess what? It just came to my head. And if they do this, I didn't get it from them. So it's original, technically, from me. I'm gonna do a song of my favorite song at the moment. And I'm gonna end the podcast on a song that I really enjoy. And then I'll credit the artist. Or I didn't even know if I can do that, because YouTube's so strict with its policies, and I'll get copyright striked. Fuck YouTube for that, man. I don't even know if it's YouTube's fault. Like, I'm sure they're working on making it more fair, but still. Fuck the copyright companies that are just money whores, honestly. How should I end the podcast then? I'm probably just gonna cut to me figuring out how I'm gonna end these podcasts. I guess I'll end these podcasts by how should I end these podcasts? How about like dumbass text of that day, because I think I want to do 2 podcasts a week. I think I want to do. Let's see. Doesn't Joe Rogan do a podcast like every day? I kind of want to do that. I think I'm going to do that. I think I might just do this podcast as frequently as I can. So I'm looking at my phone right now because I want to figure out how I'm going to end these podcasts. And I want it to be tradition. And I want it to be so tradition that it fucking ends like it on every podcast since episode 1. That's like so important to me. I know it's probably stupid to you. But I want it to be a fact. Well, we should just end the podcast. I have an idea. I don't have an idea. I just spoke out of my fucking asshole. How about you? I'll ask for like ideas, I guess. I won't be able, to make a tradition. I won't be able to make a tradition on how I end these podcasts right now. But even though I really want it to be, I'll figure it out. I'll ask my friends. I'll ask some people, and we'll see. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry if it came across boring. I think I got bored of myself at some point, but I just wanted to do it because you can fucking do. I was so tired of waiting. Every day. I was so tired of waiting every day of doing this podcast, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait another fucking day. I was so tired. And the reason why I'm whisper screaming is because I don't want to yell and cuss because my family's there, and it's so awkward knowing they don't like me cussing. But even though I do cuss all the time, that's fucking life. That's life. Life's a bitch. And I just was tired of waiting to fucking do this podcast. I was so tired. So I just wanted to do it tonight. I did not want to wait another day. I just wanted to get it over with. Thank you for watching. And that's the vent. Hey, I guess that's the way we could end it. Thanks for watching, and that's the vent. Because that's literally just going to be me venting, So that's the vent. I'm spelling out vents in the air. I'm going to fade the podcast out right now. I haven't hit stopped yet in the recording. I'm just making swirls that don't make fucking sense. Yeah, is it awkward yet? Now I'm spelling it in cursive while looking at you directly. Do you feel comfortable? If I look like Taylor Lautner, would you still be comfortable? If I had rock hard abs and a schlong, would you be comfortable now? I'm still going. I don't know when I'm going to end this. I don't know if I faded out by now. I probably haven't. They're making a Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel. Did you know that? Is this too uncomfortable now? Is this bit annoying? I don't know. I've really never done a bit. I think it's getting annoying now. Okay. Thank you for watching. That's the vent.